All right, so we've been filming since what, 2019? So how many years is that? 4 years?
I think it'll be 4 years officially in November.
All right, so 4 years officially in November, right? So
Yep.
2 months, 4 years, right?
Wow.
And over the 4 year time frame, you close one deal.
One deal, folks.
Now you've been saying that you want to get involved in real estate for all of this time. Why haven't you gotten started?
Basically, it's fear, man. To keep it real, be honest. I'm kind of a guy that likes to do stuff and know what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So while I do know like little details here and there about the real estate, my biggest issue is hopping on the phone, unsolicited, calling a motivated seller and not feeling confident or knowing what to say. So that's enough for me to be like, just keep putting it off.
So you feel like it might be a lack of information or something like that? That's
Definitely, yeah.
all right. So I got how many videos? I got over 600 pieces of content on YouTube.
This is true.
Would you consider that to be a lack of information?
Not necessarily, but like as long as I've been around you, I've never seen you contact somebody straight up, and that whole process.
Okay.
So while I might know where to go, how to find funds, or what to look for if I'm driving for dollars, where to get lists, that's all great. But it's okay. I find this property, I locate who owns it. When I get them on the phone, I feel like I'm a fish out of water at that standpoint. And I'm naturally a introverted person. So that's just another layer of fear right there to call somebody. And, you got to ask personal questions about some of this stuff. And all of that is running in the back of my mind. And it talks me out of making that step.
As long as you've been around me, yeah, I don't necessarily have, because I'm providing more information than how-to stuff, right? Some of the stuff I do provide how-to information, but that's kind of spontaneous. You really can't teach that stuff on the spot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Versus jumping on a coaching call, I can teach it if it's more of a one-on-one environment, right? Mm-hmm. So I agree. You have access to a lot of information that you film, but at the same time, I get it. You know what I mean in regards to having that fear. I can't resonate with that personally because I never had that fear. And the reason why I never had that fear is because of purpose. Reason why. You know what I mean? It sounds cliche, but it is what it is, right? So for me, I never thought about what if I hop on the phone and I didn't know what to say. My purpose was I'm going to get this house. You know what I mean? And here's why I need to get this house. Because if I don't get this house, I can't eat. I never had a 9-to-5 job. So my thought process, when you don't have any income and your back is up against the wall, your thought process, the way you think is different than if you have some type of security and,
That might be the situation here.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because
you got a business is making some money and you can choose to say, hey, I don't really have to make this phone call. Even though you might want to make the phone call, in the back of your mind, you know that you really don't have to make the call. You're still going to be fine.
Right.
You know what I mean? But in my case, I didn't have that option. It was me and my wife before we had kids. I didn't have an option. If I didn't make something happen, we was going to starve and be on the street.
Right.
You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to put your back up against the wall. You got to find your purpose. And I think recently you found that purpose, which we'll talk about that in just a minute, which is why we're having this conversation in the first place. You found that purpose, which is going to be the driving force for you to want to, not even want to, you have to make things happen. Because if not, things could get ugly, right?
Right. Absolutely.
So the reason why we're having this conversation is because most people, they face the same fears, right? So it might be a fear of what? Like what's some of the fears? I'll let you talk about it.
Kind of what I just expressed as far as when I started shooting content for you. A lot of people that know me started asking me questions.
Mm-hmm.
Started watching your channel, watching other channels, and they got the gist of it. And most of them all back out when it comes to that whole process of just having to talk to people. It's like they'll be motivated. Oh, I went driving for dollars. I found some houses, man. It's a gold mine. And then he's like, okay, you got to skip trace, and they'll do that. Pay for the skip tracing. They get that list back. Man, I don't want to make this call, bro.
So don't you see, like, don't you think that there's an issue with something like that? Like, you going out, you putting forth the effort to get the leads. You paying for the skip trace. It ain't free.
Right.
But then when it comes down to actually picking up the phone and making a phone call, you know what that's called? That's called busy work, man. People want to feel like they're doing something until it's time to actually do something.
I agree with that. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So like people want to feel like, hey, I went out and got those leads. I skip traced that. You know what I mean? That's called busy work, man. That ain't getting you no money.
Right.
You know what's getting you the money? Picking up the phone and calling the person. So I agree. A lot of people tend to not want to pick up the phone and call. It's called fear. But again, that's because the purpose of them doing it is not big enough. They don't understand the real reason why. So that's why recently, you flipped the house before. That was let's call it what it is. Spade is a spade, right? It was an accident.
Yeah, that was an accident. It didn't involve none of the stuff I'm saying.
Right.
Like where the fear comes from.
It came to you. It fell in your lap.
Yeah, it was a family member.
I was able to get you the buyer.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was a family member who knew it was a referral.
Yeah.
Right? And the buyer came to you and we both made some money on it, right? Mm-hmm. But that it was still a deal. So you saw the process wasn't hard, but now your concern is talking to people you don't know.
Right.
And that's where the purpose, the bigger reason why comes into play. So tell us about what your bigger reason why is, man. Because, and the reason why I want to talk about this is because a lot of people watching this video right now have the same concerns, right? They see the glitz and the glamour part of the real estate, but they don't really see what goes on behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. It ain't easy. It's a hard business. That's a fact, right? But it can change your life at the same time. So what makes you want to do real estate right now? What's the purpose you found?
Well, really it's for my parents. It sounds crazy to say it out loud because I think of them with my kid mind, like growing up. But they're getting elderly, you know. Yeah. My dad will be 70 years old next month. And it's just little expenses that come up. And I know it's hard for them to take care of it. Mm-hmm. I do well myself, but I'm not well enough where I can take care of their household and mine at the same time. So that's kind of my why, is just to be able to let their twilight years be a little more comfortable, you know?
Yeah.
Just take some of that pressure off of them. That's like 95% of the reason. And then the rest of it is just I'm a little aware of like the cost of living today, even for myself. Mm-hmm. I just want to make just some extra money, man, to not have to be thinking about work all the time.
So let's dig a little deeper into that, because once you understand the purpose, you understand the reason why, then you'll find the real reason why you want to do this stuff at the end of the day, right? So you first started talking about your parents, right? Mm-hmm. What makes you want to help them?
I mean, they're my parents, man. They took care of me. There was times early in my business, my mom loaned me money to get my drone. Like,
what's the purpose though? Like, all right, so this is all look, this is scratching the surface stuff we talking about, right? Let's dig a little deeper than that, because below the surface, there's something you could have helped them 4 years ago.
Not on the level that I want to help them on, though.
What makes you capable of doing it right now? There's an underlying reason, bro. There's something there. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to bring it out. What's the underlying reason for you wanting to Like, why do you feel real estate is going to help? Why not stay in the photography business and do it that way? What makes you think real estate is going to be able to be that vehicle to help you get there for them?
Well, I've been aware of this industry for the last 4 years. Not even outside of just people I know through you. I've seen countless individuals within this 4 years.
So you've seen proof of concept.
Yeah, within this 4 years, I've seen people go from working to like basically rich and doing whatever they want to do. And it's only so many times you can just sit there and watch that and be like, why can't I put forth the effort?
Yeah, so we see it a lot on social media, right? How many people you see flashing checks, picking up a new car on social media, right? Everybody wants to be involved in real estate, right? But everybody don't understand the purpose. They don't understand the work that goes into it. So like I said, you can make money doing anything. Why real estate, bro?
I guess like the photography thing wasn't my first. That's not my first rodeo. I've done countless businesses, and with me having a agency where I help people brand themselves, I work with a lot of different industries as well. Real estate is the only one that I've seen that's been consistently producing like wealth for people. And I'm not talking about social media. I know more people personally in this industry now than I do off social media.
Got you.
Just like being around you and seeing people like Sawan. He's like 6 years ago, I wasn't doing this.
Yeah.
And so it's like I'm seeing proof of concept.
Understood. So you feel like real estate is the vehicle that could really get you there.
Yep.
And you're willing to put in the work to be able to
put in the work to get in there. Yep.
And that's the point. What changed, right? Because again, 4 years ago, your parents were still here. They still had the same issues.
They weren't. Nah, they didn't.
They didn't?
They didn't.
Okay.
Like after the pandemic, things got a little more tighter for them.
Understood.
So
just like for a lot of people.
Yeah. So that kind of helped wake up that in me to be like, all right, like
there we go.
Let's do
so now we getting somewhere, right? So you got the pandemic kind of changed the game for you. It changes the way you think, your mindset, right? You got to put certain things in place in order to be able to make it happen. Your parents got caught up in that. They're approaching, if they're not retired, they're approaching retiring age. And now it's time for you to be able to help them to do something.
Yeah. And yeah, they're retired. And that's another thing. It's like, it's not as simple as saying, go get a job. Like, they're done with that.
Yeah.
My dad's on disability. So it's like, if I don't step up and do nothing, the rest of their life is going to be warration for money.
Yeah. So, now we getting somewhere. So now we telling a story. You understand what I mean? So, again, they're retired. Most retirees don't have enough income.
Yeah, they don't.
Right? You're young enough, about 40, almost 40 years old, right? 2 years younger than me. And you still have enough energy to be able to make some things happen. Like, you could change the whole trajectory of your family's future within the next 3 years if you put in the work. And you understand that. You've seen it happen. You know what I mean? You seen me do it. You seen others do it.
Your students.
Some of my students do it. You know what I mean? And now it's your turn. So you know what the vehicle is, which is real estate. Now you have the purpose, the reason why. And then you mentioned the second part of it, which was what?
You know, the other.
Yeah, you want to do some things with the money.
Yeah, just being able to be comfortable for myself, man. Like I kind of like to think future wise, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I want to make more income, but I don't want it to always be me having to grab my camera. Working so hard, man. You know, I'm 40.
So just a little word of advice, man. For me, my comfort comes from not being comfortable. You know what I mean? And what I mean by that is, I remember one point when I first started making some real money when I was younger. I started buying things that, you know, I was in a situation where I could have gotten anything I wanted. Started spending money, and then I wasn't spending it the right way. You know what I mean? I was overspending, and that caused me. I got lazy. Let's put it that way. So I started making money, started buying things, and got lazy at the same time. That's a bad combination, right? I learned from that. Now I make money, and I'm never comfortable. You understand what I mean? I could get what I want. I still get what I want, but my comfort comes from not being comfortable. So that's a little word of advice. Always be hustling, man. You know, and the way you always be hustling is build a business that's wrapped around your lifestyle, not, you know, not you having a, you know, not self-employment, not you having to get out. Kind of like your photography business, the way you running this thing, you renting out the space. That's kind of paying for your space. Like you literally have a space you working here for free. You know what I mean? Possibly even making an income. That's your business working. That's one way of your business working for you. You know what I mean? You don't necessarily have to, but you still got to eat.
Right.
So you still got to work.
Yeah.
So you still got to, you know what I mean? Still got to produce. So you kind of want to think along those lines. Never be too comfortable to where it's going to cost you everything, because then you're going to be starting all over. And I've done that a couple of times. You know what I mean? But your story, I believe, resonates with everybody who wants to get started. There's a certain level of fear, but I think lack of information, lack of education, and the fear to get on the phone and actually make things happen is what holds a lot of people back. And honestly, the only way to break through that barrier is to do it. Because what happens when you first started shooting?
I was terrified.
You was terrified.
Shoot, I was terrified. I was like, these people paying me. I hope the photo was in focus. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I mean? So you get what I'm saying. But now, how many years you been filming?
12, 13.
12 years. Do you even think about that?
Nah.
And it's the same thing, bro. The best fear breaker is just doing it, just getting started. And that's kind of what that ties into what I was saying earlier today. Like, I didn't have a choice. I never thought about what if this didn't work, because what if couldn't exist for me. You know what I mean? I had to eat. So it's either I could eat a sandwich today, I gotta find a way to eat, or I'm just gonna go hungry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you gotta find that hunger. And your hunger right now is your reason why. That's your parents and the other, and you got a daughter, man.
Right.
You know, you gotta start thinking about these things. You ain't getting no younger.
Right.
Just like most of everybody watching this right now. Nobody's getting any younger. Yeah. Right? So your decision that you make has to be right now. Yeah. You know what I mean? You have to dig deep right now, because tomorrow ain't promised to nobody.
Right. Yeah, I definitely. That's the reason too. I mean, that goes without saying. But my daughter, and just trying to, leave something for her, man, and teach her something as well.
So you ready to put in the work?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. So why don't we create a series? If you guys want to see a series on this, leave a comment in the comment section. We just wanted to do a little bit of soul searching today, right? See what's under the skin, in order to really see what's in the heart, to see if you're ready for this. You know what I mean? Because most people say they're ready, but how many people you seen fail doing this?
Fail? That's a loaded question. Because if you just quit, is that failing? I've seen a lot of people just stop doing it.
I think
I can't really say
if you're quitting for the right reason. I don't believe there's a such thing as failure, and that is a loaded question. The reason why there's not a such thing as failure, because if something is not for you and you stop it short, then you just succeeded in preventing something that's going to be a headache for you in a long run.
Yeah. So I've seen that a few times.
But for me, then the way I think, if I start something, I'm going to give it 200%, and I'm going to force it to succeed. So if I don't know how, say I didn't know nothing about real estate, and I started it, say I started a photography business, I know nothing about it. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to learn everything I can about it while I'm actually doing it. So I'm going to have a successful, if I say I'm going to do it, it's going to get done. I'm going to have a successful business. It might take some time, but I'm going to do it. You know what I mean? So to me, quitting is failure, but it depends on who you ask. Because if you quit for the right reason, for the right purpose, then, long story, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I see a lot of people leave. A lot of people fall short of the goal because they don't push hard enough to get there. I tell people, or tell coaching students all the time, you got to make 25 to 1. That means 25 offers to get one agreement signed, right? You think by the time you speak to 25 people, make 25 offers, you start getting used to making offers, right? Mm-hmm. 25 to 1. Most, people don't get, if they don't get a deal, I say, how many offers you made? Oh, I made 10, 11. Keep making offers. I mean, the science, it's not rocket science. The math is there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But my point in bringing all of this up is, if you're ready to put in the work, we can make this happen. So if y'all want to see a series of Rondell finally taking real estate investing serious, leave a comment in the comment section. And we look forward to putting some content together for y'all, for real.
Now, what happens if I find success, man? You're going to have to find you another videographer?
Nah.
I'm
we're going to hire somebody.
I'm messing with you. I love this. I always do that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I always do that.
For sure. Now, you see what you just did? You said, if I find success.
Oh, here we go.
That's a problem, bro.
Here we go.
You got to see.
These motivational guys, man, they clock everything you say.
Oh, you calling me a motivational guy.
You are motivational.
No, I'm not, bro.
You don't think so? I'm
a straight up guy.
If you think he's motivational, leave in the comments.
I ain't motivational. I'm real, man. You know what I mean? That's just if you get motivation out of me being real, then
yeah, it's motivational though.
But check it out.
Seeing what you do, man. Seeing what
I hear you.
You and your colleagues, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
But check it out, man. You can't say if, because then you're telling your brain that you're allowing yourself a way out. When this happens, we could hire somebody else. Gotcha. If it happens, allows you a way out. That allows you a way to quit.
Yeah. And
that's not what we here for, man. So you just sign your life away in blood just now, man.
I don't want to do that.
You signed your life away in blood.
Let's rewind.
You signed a contract.
When I find success. How about
there
that?
You go. I'm saying you signing on the dotted line, the invisible dotted line, right? And you telling yourself, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna be successful at this, man. And that's what this is all about. So we're gonna put in that work, and we're gonna record it, and we're gonna make a few other people believers in themselves as well. Because a lot of people suffer with this, man. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they just don't have the guidance, and it's natural. Information before YouTube, information wasn't readily available for everybody. You know what I mean? So that's why I put out this channel in the first place, just to provide real value and not have to sell something all the time. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But the whole point is, a lot of people lack information, and with the lack of information comes lack of action. You know what I mean? So if you can gain the information by actually doing it, to me, experience is the best teacher. So by you actually doing it, and I can guide you step by step, I think that you're going to win. I think, everybody watching this is going to win, and I'm going to win too, because if people going to be talking about it. Right. That's what we want, man.
Right. Yeah. I'm excited, man. I'm ready to see it.
Let's make it happen, man. Listen, leave a comment in the comment section. Let us know how you guys feel about this. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, click the notification bell, share this video with people who are looking to get started investing in real estate and want to see the entire process. I've done this before with my nephew. I've done this with a few people on camera before. Now we're going to do it with the guy behind the camera, Rondell, who you guys know on my channel at this point. But we're gonna film his progress, the ups, the downs, the success, the failures. We filming everything. We being real with this, so that you guys can gain the knowledge that you need from this entire experience and be able to apply it into your business as well. Talk to you guys on the next one.